I'm Forrest Saunders standing in front of the House chamber where we saw Florida history tonight for the first time in more than a half decade. The Florida legislature overwhelmingly broke with the governor, sending him a bill on immigration that he doesn't want. Take a look. After hours of work behind closed doors,
21 yeas, 16 nays, Mr. President.
Thank you, ma'am. Show the bill passes.
lawmakers voted to send their big immigration bill to Governor Ron DeSantis. Supporters cheering its more than 80 pages of changes.
We have passed the most conservative, the most aggressive, and the most effective immigration bill in the country.
Specifically, the bill mandates death sentences for undocumented convicted of capital offenses. It repeals in-state tuition for undocumented students, gives local and state police $500 million to enforce immigration law, puts the state's ag commissioner in charge as the chief immigration officer.
This is the party of President Donald Trump, not the party of Governor DeSantis. You know, if the governor really wanted to play in illegal immigration, he should have appointed himself to the U.S. Senate.
The stunning rebuke of the governor is a first in at least 6 years. He had wanted more than what lawmakers approved, including making illegal immigration a state crime and giving Florida the power to deport.
I just don't understand, how do you not live up to our campaign promises and help the president fulfill his #1 campaign promise on cracking down on illegal immigration? We need to do everything that we can and be as strong as we can.
His allies, a handful of GOP lawmakers, calling what was approved too weak to make a difference.
Their policy allows for catch and release. Okay? In fact, I think by writing it the way they did, they're encouraging catch and release.
Democrats, meanwhile, condemned both the governor and legislature's plans. They took particular issue with the tuition repeal.
Whether the governor comes out on top or legislative leadership comes out on top, it's the people of Florida who lose when we put petty partisan interests ahead of their needs.
DeSantis now looks poised to veto, condemning what lawmakers passed in conservative talk show.
I think the legislative leaders, they just want the window dressing. They want to be able to say they're doing this.
After conservative talk show.
They did not want to do this special session. So if they're all so gung-ho about this immigration agenda, why did I have to drag them in? Why did they deride me and say it was a stunt to do this?
If he does reject the bill, it heads back to the chambers, who will need a 2/3 majority to make it law, and that is no guarantee now that the Florida legislature is off script. Now here's where things get tricky. If the governor does veto the bill, it comes back to the House and the Senate. And while it looks like the House chamber behind me does have the votes needed to override DeSantis, remember, a 2/3 majority, it's a different story over in the Senate, where the margin was a lot tighter, meaning this bill may be dead on arrival. We'll have to wait to find out. That's the latest out here at the state capitol. I'm Forrest Saunders reporting.